welcome to our Thursday night live stream.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are Two
Crazy Ketos. And if you're new to our channel, welcome. Here on Two Crazy Ketos, we do different things like recipe videos and we do product reviews. We talk about various keto topics, and every Monday we go live on Keto Beyond the Couch because life exists beyond the couch.
You can find us in different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
We have a website, which is twocrazyketos.com. That's where you're going to find all of our different recipes. Now, we do upload at least 5 new videos every single week, so make sure you subscribe to our channel.
And don't forget to hit the little bell icon, and that way every single time we have the most visually accurate representation of our marriage, you'll be alerted to it.
What is that supposed to mean?
I'm in a tank top and you're in a hoodie.
I am freezing.
And these are the two people living under one roof.
This is what happens when we go camping, because when we go camping, I let Rachel put the air conditioning as low as possible.
which is
like,
Arctic Circle.
It doesn't even go as low as she sets it. Like,
right.
It tries. It tries hard. It just never turns on. She sets it for 60, and you're lucky if you can get the RV down to like 68.
Yeah.
But I'm freezing. And then when she comes home, and we're back to, hey, electric's not free anymore.
I'm like, oh.
And the house is 72 degrees, and she's like, it is so hot in this house, and I am freezing.
I know that there are so many people today, like I'm starting to see snowy winter scenes. As if
we probably should not talk about the fact that we were sitting on a beach in 85 degree
you
temperature.
can tell I got like a little bit of sun in the last 2 days, but like, yes, I mean, some people are under snow right now, and you're like, it's cold. Brr. Brr in
The dog
here.
opened the door.
50 Shades of Gravy. Renee has the absolute best names ever for whatever holiday season. I love it.
So welcome.
No, ma'am. I'm going to go put her in the other room.
So welcome to our Thursday live stream. If you're new here, this is where we just kind of hang out with our community, answer any keto questions. Honestly, we'll answer anything within reason, whether it be keto or not. We let the chat dictate where we go. We try to get to as many comments over the next hour as possible.
We're home, and so she's not letting us out of her sight.
If you have something that you really want to talk about, you can use the super chat function. That's the little $ thing that is in the chat window. So let's get right into the chat. Yeah, lots of people talking about
multiple inches. Debbie is in multiple inches of snow.
Becca finished Brain Energy. I loved most of it, but hated the last chapter. It was too much. Kids, don't try this at home.
Oh, dang it. Okay, don't spoil it. Because
we just got home.
I
It was
walked
here
in the
when we
door
got it.
and it was there, but I still don't, I mean, there's no way that I'm gonna speed read it. Like, no. I'm not that good. I wish I was a faster reader. Becca, how many pages can you read in a minute? Like, have you ever tried to clock it? I've always really thought that was super cool, like, for people
I learned how to speed read, but
I've never learned how to do that. I just think it's rad.
Betsy said, is everyone going to watch Keto Chat this Saturday with Steve and Amy? I plan on watching it as much as we can. We have a couple podcast things we have to do.
But yeah.
Super excited. Tomorrow we are actually getting interviewed by
Dr. Jamie
Seaman.
Super
excited.
Then
we are interviewing Carnivore Angel.
Yes,
so
tomorrow.
Super excited about that. Tomorrow's a busy day. In the midst of all that, I also have to cut too. So, because next week is Thanksgiving.
Can you believe Thanksgiving is here? Like, I'm just, it's blowing my mind. Is everybody ready? Do you have a turkey? Like, what are you doing? Are you eating turkey? Not everybody's eating turkey.
I like turkey. I don't know. You don't like turkey.
It's not my favorite.
Renata said, are any of you planning on going to KetoCon next year? The big discount ends this month. Yep, we will be there. We are emceeing and speaking. Super excited about that. Chris is here. Said thought it was chilly at 56 degrees outside.
Seriously.
Tony said, hello from the cold mountains in dewy Arizona. Woke up to 20 degrees this morning.
20 degrees.
We woke up to wind and like 75 degrees sitting on the Keys.
20 degrees. Like, how might one even prepare for that? Like, that is cold, yo. That is freezing cold. How did you make it in New York? How did that even happen?
It's called adaptation.
Now you're a lizard.
If I moved back to New York, I'm sure I would adapt to it. But
why don't we adapt to like
because it's too
65
expensive.
degrees
My
here.
electric bill's $500. Like I've had enough of the high electric bills.
It's crazy here.
And I know this is not keto related, but I've got to vent this frustration.
Oh no.
Rachel will not let me vent it by putting a sign on the door that says, "Do not knock on my door, especially if you're selling solar panels." So I don't know about the rest of the country, but here in South Florida, especially in our community, it's rampant. They try to sell you solar panels every day.
Every day.
So
Multiple
the other
times
day,
a
this
day.
guy knocks on a door, and Rachel, it was right after Keto on the Couch. We literally finished Keto on the Couch, and Rachel's like, there's somebody official looking at the door.
He looks very
You and your
official.
son, you refuse to, you open up the door. Oh, telemarketer, I'm pretty sure Joe wants to speak with you. No, I don't. I open up the door. Yes. Can I talk to you? No. Goodbye. Close the door. Not interested.
That doesn't seem nice at all.
So this guy goes, hey, my name is so-and-so. I'm from FP&L. And I'm like, okay, you don't look like it, but
that's Florida Power and
let's
Light.
hear this. And he was like, I was sent out here because I didn't know if you were aware. I wanted to make sure that you got the notice that we sent out that says your electric bill is going to be going up. And I said to him, honestly, I would never pay attention to that notice. And he was like, why? I'm like, because there is absolutely zero I can do about it. It's not like I can go find another electric company.
Right.
So he was like, well, you got a good point.
He's like, no electric.
He's like, anyway, the electric in your neighborhood is going up because they're going to be burying all of the lines.
Bury the line.
And they're changing all of the other poles. Now, which one is it? Either we burying it or are we changing out the wooden poles to concrete?
Both?
You're telling me we're doing both, but that doesn't make sense. So he's like, okay. And I'm like, he's like, so your electric bill's going up, but we have an option for you. Have you heard about solar?
No.
Now, immediately, you are not from FPL. This is your sales pitch. And I'm like, sorry, not interested.
The name of his company is FPL.
He was like, why are you not interested? I'm like, first of all, I don't plan on staying in this house that long. Second of all, the insurance companies have made it perfectly clear that if we put solar on our roof, they will cancel our insurance. Well, I can find you an insurance company that won't cancel you.
Okay.
And I'm like, no, still not interested. Why aren't you interested? Because I'm not staying in my house for another 30 years, that's how long it's going to take to pay off your solar panel.
You're an angry bald man.
I am an angry bald man. But I had to vent it because I want to put a sign up that says, do not knock on my door when you're trying to sell me solar panels.
Solar panels.
This is what happens when we go away for a couple days.
Rant over.
Okay, let's jump into, let's see who else
You're
is
sure
here.
you don't want to talk about daylight savings time? You're good?
Do you really want to start me there?
You're good? Okay, let's move on.
We just finished my coaching classes and stuff, and we were talking about that. Pearl said, I am eating some keto chow tomato basil soup that I put garlic butter in it, and also put some Chinese stir-fried vegetables and some chicken and frog legs in it.
You lost me, Pearl. Right there. Pump the brakes. Wait, what happened? Where did we turn and head to Froglands? What happened there? I know that my uncle was actually like a championship frog gigger. So he gigged frogs. Would literally go into the Everglades.
I've always wanted to do that.
Poke them. There's like a special stick for it. And he was very, very good at that. Really enjoyed that. But I'm
FHP said, I'm debating getting tickets for me and the hubby for KetoCon. Do VIP tickets go on sale? No.
No.
They're very, very limited. They are $1,000.
I go a 100.
We actually had one we tried to auction off to for 11 on 11.
Which was just last week.
No takers for it.
No takers.
So I don't know what we're going to do with our ticket yet. Sabrina said there are 85 of us. The songs are beautiful. We are one of the few that have a choir anymore.
Sabrina's in the Christmas choir. How fun is that? I can remember, one year, because I've done Christmas choir before, and it is so stinking fun. It's just a magical time. I've also gone Christmas caroling before. Has anybody gone actual Christmas caroling where you go from house to house? Because that's super fun too. But one year, I did Joy Bells, which was like not just choir, but you had like the white gloves on and you're doing like jingle bells, but you're doing it with like bells. You know how uncoordinated I am, right? I was like sweating, like the pit sweat was like forever because it was just like, don't mess it up. It's not like one of those things where you can just hide it. It's like ding, like the wrong ding.
Right.
Everybody's going no.
Ola said, back from camping, I thought you'd still be there. Yeah, we would.
It was a quick.
It was just a couple of days.
2 nights, like Chuck Willery would do. 2 and 2.
You know what? It was nice. It was nice to get away. And I'm glad that the first day we were there, or the first night, and then the first day we were there, very calm. This morning it was a little rough.
It was rough.
So
there was a storm
at least we
outside.
got in the water yesterday. We also ended up going down to Key West, which I've never been a Key West fan. We went once before, and I'm like, not for me.
This time?
I'm not a bar hopper. I don't drink. Really nothing down there for me. But we brought our scooter. We actually were just driving to look for a place to ride our scooters. We have a scooter that we need to do a review for. And the next thing you know, we were in Key West. I mean, it's only 26 miles, but it takes an hour to get there driving through the Keys. And we said, you know what? We're going to drive our scooters around. And we had a blast.
Different.
It was an amazing day until the last 10 minutes.
Till the last 10 of Key West? Oh my gosh.
So if you've ever been to Key West, you know.
Oh, I must
There are chickens everywhere.
There's chickens everywhere.
They're running the street.
Where?
And we actually investigated,
thousands.
where do they come from? And they come from years and years and years ago, cockfighting. And then they made that illegal. And they just became a part of the community. And a lot of them they tried to actually ban them. And that did not go well because the residents were like, this is a part of us.
It's like the
So now there's
mascot.
a lot of rehabilitation efforts and relocation for ones that get hurt.
A lot of chickens.
So we were just riding down the street and I heard,
tweet.
you know, if you've been around baby chickens, like day-old chickens, you know the sound. I heard them from the next block. I'm like, I hear baby chickens. So we come right on the corner in the middle of the street. There's a mama with 6 babies.
A little banta.
These babies were a day old.
The bantam, like the little tiny chicken.
Yeah, but they were a day old. Those maybe 2 days old.
Yeah.
And we're watching them and watching them and watching them, and there's a storm drain. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they're going to the storm drain.
Yeah.
And then you see the mom trying to go, like, don't go that way. She'd walk over and then try to get him, come follow me this way.
Too close.
And then she got too close, and some lady walks up and says, I hope they don't go down there. And as she says one drops in it.
So I immediately run over there.
We're scarred for life.
We're scarred for life. I immediately run over there, and it is like cemented in. So there is this.
Say that word again.
Cemented in. You cannot pull it out. It's not a liftable thing. So I get my arm in there. My arm gets completely caught.
And then another one drops down.
And then, my arm got caught, and then I get out finally, and then, the mom goes back over to the storm drain.
Because she hears the baby.
But the other babies are following her.
So I picked up quickly all the babies and moved them.
And then, we took them to another location, but it was,
we were scarred for life. 2 babies down there.
Oh,
and then
my gosh.
About an hour later, as we're getting ready to leave, you see other people because they're swimming.
Yes.
In this thing, but you can't get them out.
Ready, Set, Keto goes, stay away from the drain. There's clowns down there. You're right.
So it was a great day until
then. And then I was like, and then we cried the entire way back to the campsite.
Yeah. Hascat said, are you cold or do you like your hoodie?
No, he's freezing.
I'm both. I do like hoodies.
He likes his hoodie, but
this time of the year, I love the fact
cold.
that I can actually wear a hoodie. Juju said, Rachel bears it all. Joe is hiding.
I know. Seriously.
He said, even more of a reason to not go camping. We had a blast camping this weekend.
We had a good time.
Hasket said, I thought you were advertising The Chosen. No, but I really do like The Chosen.
Yeah, I do. I like it. I'm ready for the next season.
It's out in the movie theaters tomorrow.
Is it?
Yeah. The first 2 episodes, anyway.
Okay.
Susie said, 72 degrees. Holy cow, you can bake bread in your house.
Right? Seriously. Oh my gosh. You could probably smoke some meats.
FNP said, I got a vacation to Cancun the week before Christmas, so I understand.
Ooh, nice. How fun is that?
So Sarah said, and you're in Florida and we're all in Illinois. It's the same in our house. Bill sits in front of the heater with wood over his head, and I'm over here with the thermostat on 65.
Thank you. I am so glad that I am not alone because I'm just like, how? How did we get together? How are you this cold? And I'm no kidding, I'm hot. In fact, we came home And because we got up early, I didn't get a chance to get my workout in. And so I was like, you know what? We're home. I'm going to go work out. And I was literally in a sports bra and shorts and freezing McFryer over here.
It's only cold because I turned the air down to 72 for the live stream. It's going right back up to 75.
It feels
Betsy's,
warm.
It's not. It was 71 degrees when I turned off the air.
It's 64 in my apartment, and that is warm.
Yeah, but that's because they don't want to turn on the heat.
I'm coming to Betsy's house. That sounds really nice over there.
Maitreya said, I'm the cold one here. Everyone else is warm. That's why I have a heated mattress pad.
Okay, now I do the whole ridiculous cozy thing where I do want to crank down the AC and then crank up the blankets.
Yeah, so it cost me double the electric. Let's crank the AC way down so it's freezing in the house and Joe is uncomfortable, and then put a heating pad on top of you.
72 is hot. I agree.
Oh. Robin said, I've never heard of those of us who are hot are burning fuel in the body. No idea if it's true.
Okay, maybe am I burning a fuel right now? I would love that. That would be great. Oh my gosh.
Becca, can you talk about the course that you are taking? So
Yes.
I am a certified health and wellness coach in the primal way of eating. I am currently taking an advanced master class specifically geared to how to pass the boards for being a health and wellness coach, to be a board certified health and wellness coach. This course really dives deep into not the nutritional aspects, but the ins and outs of how to coach, how to get to someone's issues, how to help them become more self-efficacious. Although over the next 2 weeks, we have a presentation. There's 6 people in my group, and only one other person is actually participating. Everybody else has bailed on the course, which I don't understand, spending the kind of money you spend to go to school and then bail. And so I just finally heard from the only other person in my group that's actually participating. And we have to present on cardiovascular disease on Tuesday.
Okay.
But not based on what my personal thoughts are on cardiovascular.
Is that hard?
Yes. And she talked about the whole idea behind this is, she was like, I know that we as a group, as primal coaches and primal way of eating people, do not agree with what modern society talks about when it comes to lipids and stuff like that. But when you go to take your board exams, they want to hear the falsities of current medical practices.
So in order to pass the test,
I have to lie.
You have to say what
I have to lie.
Well, you don't believe.
Yes, I have to say what I don't believe but it's not
But
true.
you know that on the other side of
that'd
this.
be fortunately, and Erin actually made a comment. She's like, Joe, at least you're not having to give a lesson on lipids. And I'm like, I would struggle with that. Because here, most doctors would tell me that I should have been dead 6 months ago based on my total cholesterol.
Glad that's not true.
But when you look at every other health marker on my body, my HDL, my triglycerides, my fasting insulin, everything else, CAC, all of that, I'm the epitome of health, except for my total cholesterol.
And your, proclivity for heat.
So yes, that's what it is. It is a primal coaching course. I actually, if somebody is interested in it, I do have a discount code because I've gone through them. It's not like we make any money off it, but we do have a code that we can give people
help somebody out
that to save money. And
Emmy says it's the high tonight is 5 degrees in Colorado Springs. 5 degrees.
And that's why I don't live in Colorado.
5 degrees. That is.
Hascat said, got my bracelet. Thank you very much.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Yeah, all that stuff went out right when we left.
Yes, we mailed out all that before we left.
Susie said, I'm looking forward to getting back into ketosis after a round of prednisone. It has been a frustrating
I
week.
am so sorry, Susie. That is, we've experienced that ourselves. If you get sick for some reason and it like causes you to just feel like all out of whack. It's almost like you have to get over the sickness, then get over the medicine for the sickness, then get back to like your original plan.
Bluegrass Girl is a speed reader.
Really?
And Jasmine read a 400-page book in a day once. Think that was my top. So here's what happened with me
Fastest I ever read was like the Twilight series. Because I was like so into it. It was like I would finish it. It would be like 2:00 in the morning. And I'd be like, okay, you got to go to Walmart. We need the next book. Remember that?
Here's what happened with me with reading. And it's when I was in high school. It's actually why I took a speed reading course. When I was in high school, we had an English teacher that he would give you a book. For example, Macbeth.
Okay.
And you would have X amount of time to read this book. But then the exam, remember like those little short notebook type of exam books, right? They were about this big. Mm-hmm. They had like 10 pages in it.
The little blue?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not made for lefties.
So he would basically, your exam was, he would give you an obscure line.
Oh.
Like, think Romeo and Juliet was not like, Romeo, you know. It was some obscure line.
From like a
that
secondary
you would
character.
not possibly know from reading Cliff's Notes or anything like that.
Right?
And you had to, from that one line that he gave you, tell you everything that was, who said it, who was the person talking to, everything that led up to it. Basically set the entire scene from this one line.
One little line.
Which made you almost try to memorize the book. And for me, the only way I could possibly do at all well and even get a passing grade on the test was literally read the entire book the day before. Because if I was reading it over time, like who's going to remember some obscure line like that you read a month ago? So I would read the entire book the night before the exam. And that made me hate reading.
Really?
And I never, so me, even now reading for me is 99% of the time, it is audio.
Oh, because
I got to listen to it because I don't want to read. Because I hate reading.
Well,
because
you need to take that
teacher.
back.
That teacher.
You need to take it back.
I blame that teacher. Becca can read thousands of words in a minute.
Wow, that is awesome. That is so stinking awesome.
Bluegrass Group reads an average of 400 books a year. More, like, that is amazing. I wish I could do that.
That is so rad. Janice said that she read Harry Potter probably the fastest. Like
Anthony was like that. He read them super fast. He read them in 3rd grade when every teacher was telling him, you're going to fail your reading exams. And he's like, I'll show you.
Lori can read 120 pages in an hour. That's it. That is amazing. What are we doing with our life? What are we doing with our life for real?
What are we doing? Becca said, I have no idea how fast I read. I've slowed down a lot in my old age. This book is worth taking time with.
Okay, good. That's good to know.
Susie said, I'm hiding away from my family and their food.
Okay, yeah. So what is everybody's, like, tactic? Like, everybody's got a different way of handling Thanksgiving. Like, so bring it. How you going to do Thanksgiving?
Okay, Renata's got a question.
Yes.
I am the same weight for over 3 months. Same 3 pounds, up and down, same measurements. I go back and forth in my head. Too little fat as Dr. Berry may advise or too much fat as Maria Emmerich may advise. Okay. Wow, there's a lot to unpack here.
Yeah.
Okay. I would need a lot more information. You might want to consider even signing up for a keto audit.
Yeah.
Where we can basically coach you for free in one of our podcasts. First of all,
I don't know what I'm waiting for here.
I'm thinking of the best way to say this to her.
Okay.
Over 3 months and you're going back and forth, you're already like bouncing around too much. Pick something, stick to it for 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
I am not a huge fan of eating low fat, especially on keto. Fat is fuel. If you're eating high protein and you're eating 0 carbs and you're not having any fat, you're not giving your body any fuel because protein is not really a fuel, and that is going to result in a slower metabolism. In my experience, and again, I am not a doctor, a nurse, or a health professional, and neither is Rachel, okay?
No, I'm not.
But I can tell you in my experience and with clients that we have coached, and most of us undereat. If you joined us for 11 on 11 when Nurse Cindy was on, she talked about, and she's a nurse. Most people undereat.
And it takes a long time to fix that. It just takes a really long time. I feel like I am finally, 5 years plus into this, really starting to like heal that metabolism, because I was so low in calories for so long, like way under what I needed to eat.
Yeah.
And I think that, that takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
You like creep up to what your body actually needs.
Yeah.
I mean, I had no idea. I mean, how do you go from 500 calories? Like, your body is so used to being undernourished, it almost doesn't know what to do with all the food.
So without knowing exactly how much are you eating, how long have you been eating that way, like I would tell you first of all, you got to look at sleep, because you can have the absolute perfect diet. You can have your diet on point. And I can speak to this from personal experience. Your diet can be on point, but your diet and what you're putting in your mouth is only 80% of your health. The other 20% of your health journey is movement, sleep, and stress. And if you don't fix those, the eating is helping, but you may stay in the same place for years if you don't work on movement, sleep, and stress. And I'm, again, speaking from personal experience, the biggest issue in my health journey is sleep and stress.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty good with movement. I think my diet is pretty on point. But I fall into the same thing every once in a while, afraid to eat. I mean, I know that you do too. Like, but we just stopped counting, and we've at least maintained. But my biggest struggle is sleep and stress. That is my biggest struggle. If you leave it to me, I'm going to sleep 3 or 4 hours a night. And that's just not good for your health. And that results in insulin resistance, higher glucose, and actually gaining weight.
I have a question, because I saw it in the chat. How do you make turkey gravy with keto? How do you do that?
How do you make? You want me to do a cooking lesson on here without?
Well,
having turkey gravy?
what's something that you do to take turkey
juices? I take the turkey drippings.
Turkey drippings.
Add a little bit of xanthan gum.
Xanthan gum it is.
And I actually like to add in some the chicken keto chow.
Yeah, that's delicious.
Yeah,
that's a good.
But without that, you can make it. You saw what I would honestly do. The best way to do it is basically take all of your drippings, and then any of the extra stuff that you have there, throw it in a Vitamix or in a good blender, and very similar to my ultimate meal replacement beef bone broth.
Yeah.
Add a touch of xanthan gum in there, thickens it up. 1, 2, 3.
Absolutely. I got to tell you, those chicken feet, though, I don't want to eat it just because, like, shriveled hand does not be like, that looks delicious. But it really did add a lot of, like, the collagen.
Gelatinous.
And
Yeah, we're going to do
it made it a lot thicker.
If it was up to Rachel, you would get 3 videos a day between now and Thanksgiving.
Yes,
she keeps going, you need to do this video.
You need to do this.
All before Thanksgiving.
I know.
And I'm like, in what time?
I know. Stop sleeping. You don't need sleep. You'll deal with sleep later, Joe.
Karen is making beef short ribs for Thanksgiving.
Ooh, okay.
I found out that I am making a brisket.
Dinner. Yes, Joe's making a brisket.
And here's that for all of my barbecue people. I see Chris in the chat and Heath. Not only am I making a brisket, I have been given a deadline as to what time the brisket must be ready.
It must be ready by noon.
And trying to explain that you cannot cook to time for a brisket. You have to cook to temperature. And you can literally take 2 briskets that are identical, plop them down, put them in the smoker, start them at the same time, and one be done 3 hours earlier. And Rachel's like, that makes no sense. And I'm like, welcome to smoking a brisket.
Right. But you know what? It's all going to work out. It's all going to work out.
Chris says, see, I don't have turkey drippings because I use a giant knife to split the turkey in half, and then I smoke it.
Ooh. Nice.
Rachel wants me to smoke a turkey.
I do want you to smoke it. Smoke it. Smoke it if you got it.
50 Shades of Gravy said, I might make a prime rib for Christmas.
That's not a bad idea. That really isn't. Sarah G says 28 degrees. 28
Jasmine
degrees.
got a 21-pound turkey this year. Sadly, that's the biggest that I could find.
Okay, who's got the biggest turkey? Let's put up, because my mom was like, the success of Thanksgiving was always like how big the turkey was. Like, some of the turkeys over the years, I would not want to see that turkey in like a dark alleyway at night. I think it could take me, right? A huge turkey. What size turkey have you gotten for Thanksgiving?
Yeah, so he said, Joe, I can hit a deadline with a brisket. So can I. But there's two problems to hitting the deadline with the brisket in this particular
That's it. I'm
case.
tapping Heathen.
Okay.
You're out. Heath.
Except for, am I allowed to have the smoker running when we're not home?
Yeah.
With a fire.
I mean,
a wood fire.
I'm gonna be a little itchy.
Under normal circumstances.
No, but today.
So when you add in, oh, and by the way, it must be done before noon, including all of the resting, and you cannot have the smoker going if you're not home. Like, that becomes an issue.
I'm gonna lift
You're
the
gonna
ban.
need to allow it.
I'm gonna lift the ban.
And I saw, like, I actually saw Chris said the second you put a time deadline on a brisket is when everything goes bad.
Right. Wait, I just saw Chris said, I can hit a deadline with a brisket. I smoke it overnight, wrap it in the morning, and stick it in a 170-degree oven to think about what it's done. And when it's food time, the brisket is ready. So Chris can do it.
That's what I'm doing, and if my deadline wasn't 12 o'clock, it wouldn't be as big of a deal. But
I don't know.
12 o'clock means it needs to be at temperature by 10.
I think
because I believe in resting a brisket for 2 hours.
Two gentlemen that you highly respect are calling you out.
Except for, well, this is new that I can let the brisket run the day before.
Okay.
When I'm not
Brand
home.
new.
That's a new thing from you.
I got you, baby. Okay, so
Sabrina said, I'm having Thanksgiving Saturday, so I only have 2 more days. And back went out today. Not good for all the things I need to do.
I am so sorry. You know what? It's like, you do the best you can. If we have to order in, like, I've even seen that you can get from a lot of the local, like, Publix and, like, a lot of local grocery stores and stuff, like, they will make it. And you know what? If in order to make Thanksgiving happen, you need to have somebody else cook your turkey, like, that is nothing to be sad about.
Lots of people are up in northern Florida saying it's like 35 degrees. Not down here.
Why are we not getting sweater weather? We
never get that cold.
I want some sweater weather.
5 days a year we get under 60 degrees.
Can I have some sweater weather?
Jackie said, excited. We're up to almost 20 people for our indie meetup.
And
just a mere 3 subscribers to 200.
Way to go, Jackie.
Awesome.
Get it, girl.
Juju said, is smoking a turkey tomorrow for chicken freezer meals, but we are having a spiral slice ham without the sugar powder.
Yum.
Good job.
Good job.
Denise said they are saying Buffalo is going to get 50 inches of snow later this week. That is too much snow.
Yeah, that is too much. Is that a real thing? 50?
So
you get 50?
My sister actually went to school in Buffalo for a year. And I remember flying in to take her to interview for the school. And it was University of Buffalo. And I just remember they put us on one of those prop planes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And then as we're leaving, I remember this trip so vividly because they had like 12 inches of snow the day we were there. And
Linda's eating a ham
and
also. And Juju. Yes,
we had
you're not
gone,
alone, Linda.
they delayed our flight, so we went to see Schindler's List in the movie theater waiting for our flight.
Such a good movie.
And then we get on the plane and they're like, we need to balance the weight. Can everybody move to the back of the plane? And I'm like, I feel really confident about this flight.
We've got to ship the weight?
Yeah, but she spent a year there, and you would get snowed in. Like, you weren't leaving your house for a month. Yeah.
Wow.
They could get some snow there.
Wow. That is crazy talk.
Juice said, I'm smoking a hunk of brisket tomorrow with said turkey.
Burning love.
Freezer clean out for the move.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
That is a brilliant idea. Clean out that freezer.
Lisa said, I ordered a turkey breast from Kroger since it is not big and it's just James, my son, and me, and don't want a lot of leftovers in the fridge. Just don't know how we're going to have it with it yet.
We saw some good deals on like just the turkey breast.
Lots of people saying we need a camera doorbell. I have one, but somebody still answers the door.
Hi.
It's like me. I look at my phone Rachel's like, who is it? I don't know the name. I don't know the phone number. Not answering it.
Caleb is like the most friendly person ever. If he answers the door, it's like a 30-minute conversation at least. Like, it doesn't matter who's at the door.
Juju, thank you very much for the $5 super chat. Said, I have rampicant squash underripe. It's like a zook, but cured like a butternut. Any idea on how carbs behave? Or just make it keto-like and move on?
Make it keto-like and move on.
I would make it keto-like and move on. I don't really know. Listen, vegetables are not why we all got fat.
No, no. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, I totally over-cucumbered. Oh my gosh, all of the broccoli. Hello, that's why I was 300 pounds. No, it wasn't the vegetables.
Rachel and I were having this conversation driving home from the Keys today. And here's the thing. If you are good metabolically and haven't completely screwed yourself up like with yo-yo dieting for 30 years like we have, there are a lot of people who can be in and out of ketosis. Our body is designed to be in and out of ketosis. Everybody's body is designed to be in and out of ketosis throughout the day. You could actually be in ketosis several times throughout the day, eating over 100 carbs a day, 100 total carbs. If you were eating 100 total carbs of things like sweet potatoes and still prioritizing meat, really avoiding a lot of the starchy stuff like rice and grains and things that have, pasta's not really a whole food, but avoiding a lot of the things that are anti-nutrients.
Okay. You saying Chef
You
Boyardee
absolutely could be in and out of ketosis and be healthy. The enemy, I hate to say this, there's a huge difference between the carbs that are in a carrot and the carbs that are in a ho-ho.
Ho-ho.
Right?
Yeah.
There is such a thing as good and bad carbs.
Yeah.
Right? Our body reacts to certain
Liver
carbohydrates
has carbs.
differently. Liver,
that's
perfect
a bad
example.
Carb.
So, but we didn't get fat from vegetables. We
No.
got fat from overly processed food and eating way too many grains and way too much starch and way too much sugar. That's why we're fat. So if it's Thanksgiving and you're having some kind of squash, if it's a squash, most likely it's still not super high in carbs.
Yeah.
And it's going to go away.
We
That's not our problem.
We-
Our problem is the pumpkin pie.
In addition, you will be making a chayote squash apple pie. That was the other request that you'll be making.
If we can find chayote
We will
squash.
find them. I'm on a mission. We will find it.
Christy said if you have no listings on, they can't come to your door. I agree. I attempted to put one up, and within 24 hours, my wife said, please take that down because it's very rude.
It just seemed very... The way the sign was just too.
Do not knock on my door if you are ding 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 ding.
I did not like that. I didn't like it. It was too.
Your son has one.
I know, but that doesn't make it right.
Okay. Maitreya said, scammer for sure. Solar panels are great, but they are expensive, and you still are dependent on the grid.
What got me, like you said, the scammer thing was you named your company the utility company name. And you will probably...
He didn't. No, he was just...
FPL. I'm from FPL.
He didn't show... He was saying he was from Florida Power and Light. He was not saying that was the name of his company. Here's the thing. I've researched solar panels. I would love to have solar panels. Especially in Florida.
You need a field, though.
They are
Don't
an
put
issue.
it on your roof.
They're an issue in Florida. There's only 3 ways you can get solar panels. Okay, you can pay for them outright.
How do we get to talking about this again?
Maitreya brought it up.
Oh, it's...
You can pay for them outright.
Behind in
you can lease them, or you can take out a loan on your house for them. They are, from everybody that I've talked to, a real estate agent's worst nightmare. It does not increase the value of your house, and a lot of people don't want to buy your house if you have them because you have to assume the lease or assume the mortgage, or you're going to, if you're the homeowner, have to pay off that mortgage so you lose all your equity.
Chris is right.
15 or 20 years, but the problem in Florida is the insurance companies, you're putting them on your roof. They're already telling you a 30-year roof is only good for 15 years. So if you buy a house and the roof is 15 years old, they're going to tell you need a new roof, even if you have a 30-year warranty. Insurance companies in Florida don't want to insure our homes anymore. But you're putting a giant sail on your roof, so they won't insure you anymore if you have it on your roof.
Chris says you could totally just say, have a sign that says no soliciting, please. That's way nicer. If you can find no soliciting, please, you could put that sign
The
up.
other one was better.
He's got one. My new front porch sign. By knocking on my door, you are agreeing to $20 per hour.
I like that.
He would put that on his door.
I got a text message from somebody earlier today. I have not heard back from him, and said, I would like to spend some time talking to you about selling your home. And I said, $750,000. Did not answer me. That is, if you give me $750,000 for a house, I will sell it to you tomorrow. We're done. We're moving. Where are we moving? I don't know, and I don't care.
Who knows? Who knows? We'll figure it out
Thunder
later.
said carrying a shotgun might help.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would.
Okay, Debbie.
Yes.
I fed your meaty artichoke dip to my card ladies today using andouille in place of the hot dogs.
And they loved it. Oh, I'm so glad. I love that. I love hearing somebody utilizing your recipe for some purpose. I saw somebody else is going to be making your cranberry sauce, which you do need to make that also. He doesn't have time. You know what? Close down the live stream. He's got to get cooking.
Denise, question. What do y'all do for food when you have the intestinal flu?
Oh, I'm sorry if that's what you're experiencing right now.
What do we do from food when we have the intestinal flu? What I personally do
push the electrolytes, and a lot of times I don't even eat
food,
if I can't.
we just don't eat.
Yeah.
If we have an intestinal flu, we just don't eat, but we do try to do electrolytes because you can dehydrate even more if you are vomiting or if you have diarrhea. So I would definitely try to stay on top of the
Bone
electrolytes,
broth.
or bone broths,
Yeah.
things like that. But as far as food wise, we tend to just not eat. I know that's not what a lot of people want to hear, but that's what we ask.
And just wait till it passes because it's not fun.
Megan said, can I ask a weird question?
Sure.
In the blog the other day, Rachel straight up was eating chicken bones.
did.
I had no idea that was safe. If there is safety concerns to consider, and what is the benefit to that?
So that was a very special thing. We got a lot of questions on that.
Okay, so
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with eating them.
No.
As far as safety, you have to understand, if you want, you could literally mush them down.
Restate how we cooked them, babe.
2 hours in a pressure cooker. So
it turns to like mush.
there's nothing left because chicken bones are porous. So it's not like a beef bone. There is no splintering left when you pressure cook them and for that long. Literally, you can take it and turn it into a powder.
It's like dust. It will just go like this in your fingers.
They're good for you.
And let me tell you, it's one of my favorite things to eat. I mean, it sounds so bad, but just give me a mess of chicken bones, put it into the Instant Pot. Seriously, just cook it until they're like that.
We're going to make a video on it because a lot of people have asked.
I like to season them a little bit. And seriously, I'm just sitting there with a bowl of bones and I will just...
Because I know somebody was concerned that we gave it to Tabitha. Again, though... It completely is a mush.
Yeah,
there is no splintering possible. We do not give Tabitha regular cooked bones. We do not even give her beef bones after we make beef bone broth. The only bones that Tabitha gets are raw before they're ever roasted or cooked.
Yeah.
Once they've been roasted or cooked, she doesn't get bones.
They belong to Mother then.
So yes, it's from cooking in a pressure cooker to make chicken bone broth. So we just loaded up our bones. We put some chicken feet in there because I want some more collagen and the gelatinous nonsense. And then what else do we have in there? A little bit of celery, some onion, some carrot, 2 hours, and that's what happens to the bones.
But I tell you what, if you're looking for something delicious, make yourself some chicken bones in the Instant Pot until they're mush. They're delicious.
Rick Wynn said, our power company has their solar field where they have all the solar panels. You can buy some stocks for that, and your electric bill will get a discount based on the number of sunny days.
How cool is that?
Cool. Now, if and when we ever move, if we would have 5 acres, I would probably make a solar field, like a half-acre solar field, and lay all the solar panels on the ground. That I would do. I just won't put them on the roof of my biggest asset.
Julie's done Christmas caroling. So is Lisa. I love it. I'm not the only Christmas caroler out there. Linda's done Christmas caroling and choir.
Brenda said, Joe, I'm with you. I'm a Florida native, moved from Hollywood, Florida to Ocala, Florida. I'm freezing too.
Your songs are so much fun. Thank you. Thanks for everybody that's been like so encouraging during this monthly challenge, this dance challenge. It has been fun. It's been weird to put myself out there. Sometimes our children look at me a little bit sideways. But it's been really fun. I've enjoyed it.
Sandy said, my door sign says no soliciting, and you are not the exception.
Aww.
Right at eye level, visible from 10 feet away.
That's probably the wise way to...
Can I have that one?
Yeah, well...
You are not the exception.
Can we go with Chris Miller's, please? No soliciting. Just leave it at that. And then if they knock on the door, you can just be like, please.
Justina said if KetoCon was still going to be in the summer, I would be going. I can't go in April, though.
I'm sorry.
And listen,
we're burning up in the summer.
It is hot.
Yeah, talk about hot.
It is hot. Joanna had a gingerbread keto chow, and it was amazing.
That is a delicious flavor.
Tony loves Key West. Yes, chickens are so noisy, and they're
everywhere. And I don't know how anybody stays in Key West proper, like as a vacation or, like a honeymoon or something, and you're hoping to sleep in late. Like how? How are you sleeping past sunrise with that many roosters in a concentrated area?
Yeah, because people think that roosters crow in the morning.
No, it's all day long. It's all day long.
And I'm sure a lot of those chickens get killed because they're all over the streets. They're constantly crossing the roads.
You're just saying that to yourself because you're trying to get past.
Jennifer said, my friend fished baby ducks from a drain with a broomstick and duct tape.
If I had a broomstick and duct tape at that point, I would have punched through that storm drain if I could. Joe was like, oh my gosh, we're going to have to call the police because I was literally hooked by the arm.
Pat.
Hey, Pat.
I know Joe is passionate about people not under-eating. For lifetime under-eaters, what is your best advice for increasing fat and protein without gaining much fat in the process?
That's a great question.
Slow.
Yeah.
And we're talking from experience.
Yeah.
I'm passionate about this because I've done it. And because Rachel has done it. But
you're talking 25 calories.
Yeah.
Week.
We're talking about increasing your fat consumption every week 2 to 5 grams a week.
Teeny tiny amount.
We're talking about increasing your fat consumption a half a tablespoon of butter a week for 8 to 10 weeks.
There you go.
Or more.
Yeah.
You would generally start off with maybe 50 calories and then after a couple weeks bump it up to 100. But it's going to take 8 to 12 weeks to slowly speed your metabolism back up. Nurse Cindy was on a stall for 18 months. Yeah. Nurse Cindy is eating more than most men that you know. And it's not because she's working out in a gym for 3 hours a day.
No, but it was a slow process. It really, really was. And same for us. It's just bumping it up slow. But like you said, because you're thinking we'll bump it up. How much would that be? 100 calories?
A half a tablespoon to a tablespoon of butter a week. So people are like, oh, I could never eat that much. A half a tablespoon to a tablespoon of butter, that's it.
Yeah.
For the week. We're not even talking about a whole bunch more. We're just talking about just a little bit. If adding that extra half a tablespoon each day, it's for doing that for a week, and then next week you go up a little bit more. It's not that much. But you will do that. And the bottom line is this. Our body is not designed to eat to macros. It's designed to eat until we're full. We have put us into this eating macros. Do we really think we were supposed to count everything we eat? Did the Little House on the Prairie people count? Did they sit down and be like, I'm only supposed to have this amount of steak based on my macros? No, they ate until they were full, or they ate when there was food.
I think they were just why do we have to get up at 4 a.m. every single day to milk these cows?
If they can, and Native Americans, they'd go hunting. They get a buffalo, they eat it, and then they make jerky with whatever's left.
What's some jerky?
Then they go until they find another one.
Has anyone made the bacon jerky? I would be interested to find out. I know we just released that video, but anybody making some bacon jerky this weekend?
So the answer to your question, Pat, is you increase slowly.
Super slow.
Slowly. So you're literally going to increase like 50 to 100 calories a day max.
Semi-retired Bob said it's getting down to 30s at night, but he has a heater. That is definitely something that we're going to be packing for the Tampa RV show, because last year, or not last year, we couldn't go last year, the year before, it was like super freezing weirdly. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
It was in the 30s.
Yeah.
When we went to the Tampa RV show.
We were supposed to go last year, but somebody got COVID.
That would be me. But the year before, it was like we had to have that space heater. I would have froze.
Janice said, I live in Lake Worth, and we put our AC at 71 at night. I have ours at 72 at night.
Okay.
It's at 72 at night, but during the day, it's at 75.
Actually,
it's been 74 lately.
If it goes any
Until
higher...
I leave. When I leave, Rachel drops it as low as she can possibly get it. That's why I put a lock on it.
That can't be possible. If it gets any higher, I'm coming to Janice's house. That's it. I'm going to have to stay with her.
Hazkat said, my friend says my metabolism is high because I eat so much meat. Your metabolism is probably high because you eat proper nutrition and because you eat a lot of meat. Or a lot, period. The more fuel we eat, our body wants to be at homeostasis. So if you undereat, your body will slow things down to deal with the fact that it's not getting enough fuel. So it'll slow things down. It'll make you tired. It'll take away your desire to want to work out. And if you eat too much fuel before trying to gain weight, your body will try to get rid of that by making you want to go work out, and some of us just ignore that, or like we'll fidget, we'll pace. Like if you see people who just can't sit still, a lot of that is body trying to get rid of excess energy.
Right.
That is the first. So it will speed up metabolism to deal with extra eating.
I do move a lot, and I'll tell you what, you want to see me move the most? Have somebody else holding a baby, like trying to soothe it, and I also move along with that. That's just like years in kids ministry, where you're like, you see a baby that needs to be soothed, and so you need to rock that baby, even though you're not holding it.
The ferret said they need a solar panel for Rachel's cozy blanket.
Oh, yeah. Actually, the ferret said that they made some bacon jerky today, maple and teriyaki. Delish. Yum.
Awesome.
I'm going to make me some teriyaki.
Jackie said, I'm always freezing. I'm currently in sweatpants, hoodie, and under two
blankets. Aw, I love it.
Emmy said, I have the thermostat at 75 degrees, and I have the
fireplace
going
nice.
while I watch two Crazy Ketos live.
The
wind chill is
-9. Oh, Emmy, I'm so glad that you guys are like warm and toasty in there, because yeah, that is crazy temperatures.
Franny said, my friend went to an auction which had a walk-in freezer. He almost bought it for his wife to put it out on the shop. She is the lover of cold, and he says his bedroom is like a meat locker.
Okay, so that would be me. That would be exactly what Joe would do.
FNP said, I have de-prescribed so many statins, I feel like they put anyone on them anymore.
Wow.
Yeah. Tastes like chicken.
So talking about the frog legs, probably. Oh, Tina says, today is my 71st birthday, and I stayed away from all the sweets. We ate dinner out, and I got garlic parmesan chicken wings. Delish. Well, congratulations, Tina. Way to go. Let's sing happy birthday. You ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tina. Happy birthday to you. And many more. So many more, Tina. That's awesome.
Jasmine said that class sounds really cool. Good luck on your project. I'm going back to school next September.
How nice. I love it. Crafty says, I was like that with the Twilight series too. It's so weird. I have had Midnight Sun for a while now, and I have not read that completely yet. I don't know what's taking me so long, but it's good. It's basically the first Twilight book from Edward's perspective, and it's really good, but I just haven't powered through it like I did the other one.
So Lori said, to read fast, do not read the tiny words, articles, a, and the. And try not to read the vowels, as they're really there just to connect the consonants. I read thousands of books a year.
How cool. That is so stinking neat.
Let's see. Renee said, I took several test-taking and study courses that taught me how to speed read and pick out the necessary points to answer test questions more effectively.
I should have done that. I totally should have done that. I took like SAT prep courses. Not that it really helped me very much. I didn't do great on my SATs, but I should have done that for like speed reading.
Renee said, my way of handling the bustle of Thanksgiving, stay solo, stay home, eat what I truly enjoy, and avoid the junk.
That is great advice. That is absolutely great advice. Is everybody like deep into the Hallmark movies season? Because like you know what's weird? Discovery Plus like has started putting out holiday movies. They're very Hallmark-esque. Only they're throwing in there some of like the different like TLC and like cooking channel stars. So basically it's like a romance Hallmark movie, but like the Cake Boss is in there, or you know, like the Pioneer Woman is in one of them, and like it was really, I mean, cute. I just watched one with Bobby Flay. And it was good. It was like a good movie, but I was like, it's so awkward to see somebody that is just not an actor, and they're just sort of like, yeah, and they're just like, okay, you be a food critic. Pretend you're a food critic. And it's like, okay, because I mean, I guess it fits.
Not for me.
But they're just sort of like making that fit.
Tony said, I put on my winter jacket from last year. I have tons of space in it. I'm swimming in it. Wow. I really can tell what I've done over the past year.
Way to go, awesome. Tony. And that is a really good measurement. Has anybody else noticed once you got the winter clothes out and you're starting to put them on that like your sweaters or your pants or your winter coats do feel a lot bigger? Because that's an awesome way to test where you've gone this year.
Joanna said, we're having ham and turkey breast for Thanksgiving. There will still be all the usual stuffing, potatoes, but I'll have the keto foods for me too. Cranberries, pumpkin custard, and coleslaw.
I love that. Oh, you said you wanted some coleslaw.
Yeah, we'll see. You're gonna be lucky.
I can make that.
You're gonna be lucky. You get the brisket, and beyond that, I can't promise anything. Michelle said, my husband wants to go off keto. I'm doing the cooking, so I said no. I would rather overeat keto foods than non-keto. I love that. That's my personal opinion. When you go in, keep it all keto and eat as much as you want.
There you go.
That's
no regrets.
Then the next day you're not beating yourself up. I can't believe I ate this. And
Debbie says, Great American Family has Hallmark-esque movies as well, along with a bunch of Hallmark actors and actresses who moved over to that channel to pursue traditional scripts versus modern twists and stuff. So that's really neat. I mean, I think that's a lot of what different channels are doing, right? Because they're like, once December comes on, everybody is looking for like the flannel love story. So we better make some of those. You're seeing them on Netflix, everything.
Janice, my movement today was shampooing cat vomit off my rugs.
Oh, Janice, I am so sorry. Gosh, that sounds like my life, right? We don't have any rugs. You would think that there's no bath mats. There's nothing. There's not like one of those things around the toilet. I would love one. I would love a runner. The only place that there is rugs is in my she shed, and somehow Roscoe snuck in there and peed on it. Even I don't know how he did it. He must have had just like a little cat burglar locksmith thing and like burgled my she shed.
Rita said, I know today because I didn't sleep well last night. All my sugars have been high, and I have 4 pounds of water retention. Sleep is so important.
Yes, it really is.
Lori said, Keto Chow is acacia gum. I'm using guar gum quite a bit now.
Nice.
So acacia gum is really good as an emulsifier. The other thing that Keto Chow has, which is one of the reasons it's got that nice thickness, is the xanthan gum. Juju said, sleep when you die. That's my motto these days.
Well, because you're packing to move and you've got like kids to take care of and everything.
Oh, I read Chris is ready. This is what happens when I read from the other side.
Nancy says, I volunteered to work on
brisket
Thanksgiving
is ready
and
when
the whole
brisket is ready.
Chris, he knows. And yet at the same time, says he could get it done. Even with that law of brisket.
He's still teasing a little bit.
Miriam can
smoke
make
it
it
overnight, let it rest till it's time to eat. That's what I'm going to do, but I'm going to just smoke it like the day before. But again, I'm dealing with some picky people because it's got to be a certain temperature. Yes.
What?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
I don't think that's true.
I think it's very true.
No.
Jody said,
Hey,
since
Jody.
being more in tune with my body's cues, I noticed right away that my cravings get worse with less sleep.
Yes.
I've always been a night owl and have to work so hard to get to sleep before midnight.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the same thing with me.
Sleep, a lot of stuff just is impacted by the sleep. Snackiness, the whole thing, that late night, it's like, go to bed.
Okay, Juju, if I'm smoking a turkey, should I put it in a tray to catch the drippings? I'm smoking it tomorrow for chicken recipes, not Thanksgiving. Spatchcock, mine was 47 cents a pound.
47 cents a pound.
Yeah, we paid like $1.
I know. And
What
I
do
cheap.
when I smoke a turkey is I try to elevate it over a pan. So I'll put a pan, and then I like to elevate it a little bit over the pan so that it's not sitting in the juices. That's just what I like to do. I do want to catch the juices, but I try to like elevate it a little bit higher. Some people will just smoke it in a pan, and some people don't bother with collecting the juices, like Chris.
Oh, see, Jujube says that she's telling Sarah, she's telling Mom that like you're cooking for picky people.
I'm actually talking about the person sitting next to me.
Me? Can't be true.
Denise said, what's hard is I'm hardly ever hungry, but I don't feel like I should force myself to eat either. Also at a stall. Frustrating. But again, part of the problem is we've trained our body to not eat food.
Yeah.
We have been convinced by the standard American diet that a normal breakfast is 2 eggs and 2 slices of bacon. I mean, I was watching a YouTuber and selling him going like, here's my meal. And it was like 280 calories. I'm like, that is not a healthy breakfast. It's just not. And at the end of the day, when you added up all the calories, their calories were like 1,000 calories. And this is the normal amount. No, it's not. Nobody has a basal metabolic rate that low. No. And you should never eat below your basal metabolic rate. Basal metabolic rate is what your body needs to survive without ever getting out of bed. Not to go to the bathroom or anything. Literally, you lay in a coma in bed. That's your basal metabolic rate. And we need to be eating significantly over that.
Yvonne?
Less than what we burn for what we need for the day overall if you're trying to lose weight, but more than your basal metabolic rate.
Yvonne says, I'm trying brisket sous vide right now and will smoke finish. Hope it works. It must be like
I've never
tiny.
tried it that way. Normally I would smoke it first and then I would sous vide it the rest of the way. That's how I would normally do it.
That's interesting.
Ooh,
Sylvia paid $5.41 for a 10.5-pound turkey from Publix.
Oh, that's pretty
That's
good.
a great price. Kelly says it's 29 degrees in Taylor, Michigan. Snow in the forecast for tomorrow. Wow, that's cold.
Trish said, I really want to take that course, but if they are making you follow standard labs, it's not worth the money for me. So, no, they're not making... First of all, as a health coach, it is out of scope of practice to be talking about labs. That's completely out of scope of practice. In many states, more than 50% of states, it's actually completely illegal for a health coach to even provide personalized macros. So like in the state of Florida, you cannot do personalized macros. You can give an overall general, but everybody's got to get the same. You cannot do personalized macros. It's against the law in Florida, Ohio, and many other states. So labs, blood work, all of that are out of scope of practice. To pass the board certification, you need to know stuff, but it doesn't mean you're coaching to it. They just want you to know about it. So like as a primal coach, like somebody will talk about like, hey, I'm worried about my cholesterol, and like my job is to educate them and help them understand how foods can impact what we're eating more, and on a primal side, getting away from seed oils, understanding that eating cholesterol doesn't raise your cholesterol and that kind of stuff. But you still need to know what actual doctors talk about, whether or not that they're right or not.
Right.
You need to know that, especially where a lot of health coaches get referrals from doctors, and many doctors are going to refer you. And if they know that they're going to refer a patient is someone who's going to completely talk opposite of what the doctor wants, they're not going to refer you. So you at least have to know a little bit of what the doctor may be talking about.
What the context is. Lisa says, need ideas on what to have with my turkey breast this year. I just can't make up my mind this year. Ever since doing Triple B and E, I don't crave as much carbs as I did before. You know what? And that's a good thing. That's one of those things that it's like, wow, that was the goal, right? The goal was to move past like all of those carb cravings. So I'm not interested in tweaking them. So my recommendation would be other sides that are also meat. I'm fine with that also. You know, it's like if I have turkey and I have a side of like chicken salad, or I have like, you know, some fish, or I make some bacon jerky, and I can have meat with a side of meat. I'm up for that.
Your buddy here.
Again, nobody puts brisket in a time corner. You are on the brisket schedule, not the other way around. Well, this is a Festivus for the rest of us, okay? Got a grievance.
Krazy said the only Thanksgiving I didn't cook a turkey, I ended up being in an accident on Black Friday. I said never again will I have someone else cook
the
a turkey.
Wow.
Emmy said for Thanksgiving Day, we're going to visit Mom at the nursing home. The facility is cooking, preparing Thanksgiving dinner, and then Friday we'll have Thanksgiving at my house.
That is so beautiful. What a beautiful opportunity. And you know what? That's a really nice thing to do too. You know, that if you go and like visit with somebody who's in a nursing home, and you know, that helps you switch gears very quickly. It's like thinking about what matters. This, you know, we have some extended family members that are very sick this year. And so it kind of puts a lot of things in perspective about like what is important within our family. It's not the food. Yeah. It's the people.
Beth said I've been making delicious carnivore gravy by reducing pan juices, then blending everything with melted butter and egg yolks. Number of yolks depends on how much.
It's perfect. That sounds delicious.
Lori said I went to University of Buffalo. They are just east of the Great Lakes, so all the moisture snow gets dumped there.
It's like, where are we going to put all this? Let's put it right here.
Juju said, not sure how many carbs move around when it's ripe versus unripe and not really Googleable. I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah.
Mad Vita said, was scheduled to go to Niagara Falls to a Brazilian steakhouse tonight, but sadly had to cancel because of the weather.
I'm so sorry. That stinks, especially if you had really nice plans.
Synergy said, it's 55 degrees here in Lakeland. I love it. I can justify the great new slippers I bought.
I love that.
I would move to Lakeland.
Anybody,
like, that's one of the areas that I would actually go to.
I believe, speaking of, like, new slippers, I was just thinking about, like, things that people would put on a list. I believe the Elfster is still going on. Joe and I signed up for it last night. Yep. So if you haven't signed up for Elfster, the gift exchange, it's in the Facebook family group that is led annually by Shelley Parker, the warden. Thank you so much for doing that. It's really, really fun because you sign up, and basically when you do, you're agreeing that I will be like a secret Santa for somebody, and then somebody else is going to be a secret Santa for you, and then you have like a little bit of a wish list that you look up, and I always go like buck wild, just finding stuff. I was like sitting today while Joe was snorkeling, and I was just like adding stuff to my Elfster. Oh, okay, yes. The warden says you have until the end of the day Monday to sign up for Elfster. So make sure that if you're interested in doing that, if you're like, hey, I would like to get a gift for Christmas or the holidays, and I'd like to buy something for somebody, then that's a great way to do that, to have that. I love it.
Semi-retired Bob said, Mom had a sign when I was a kid. Salesman welcome. Dog food is expensive.
That's cute.
Juju said, no soliciting unless you have Thin Mints. Seriously. That one always makes me giggle.
Keto or not. Yeah, if it's the Girl Scouts, any children can absolutely come to our door at any point. And there's been plenty of times where we have just given them the money for the Girl Scout cookies and then just don't take the cookies. Like, just give them money. I'm fine with that. Same thing for like the wrapping paper, or they're in a marathon or something like that and you're paying per mile. Hey, I've learned from raising 3 kids, though, you pay the flat rate. You don't know how far these kids can run. In the past, I've been like, hey, I'll give you $20 a mile, thinking like, this kid is a video gamer. I've never seen him. All of a sudden, he's like, oh, $20 a mile? Okay, I'm going to do 100 miles. Like, what?
Debbie said, I'm in Florida too. Totally true about solar panels and payback period and insurance companies.
Yeah.
And our son John Paul said the other thing that the insurance companies are starting to do is drop you if you have an electric car. If you have an electric car that you're parking in your garage, they are dropping you or...
Because they assume you got shady electric?
Because they are assuming that Uncle Bob converted the dryer plug.
He's a handy guy.
Power the car.
Instead of hiring
the real problem is most homes... Think about the amount of energy that it actually takes to charge those batteries safely. And most panels inside of your garage aren't wired for that, so you really need to run from the outside. And so most people who are having them installed at their house are not doing it safely, and then you're basically putting a giant firebomb parked in your garage.
Yes.
So yeah, what they're doing is same thing with instant hot water heaters. Insurance companies in Florida don't like instant hot water heaters either. Because again... You
don't want us to have a hot shower?
Well, it's because, again, most people's homes don't actually have...
Want me to shower?
...the amount of a panel big enough to handle that hot water heater. So they're being put in not safely.
Oh, man.
You know, so that's the problem. And again, in Florida, this is a Florida problem because insurance companies
always a Florida problem,
do not want to. Every insurance company wants to pull out of Florida. They tried raising our rate from $4,000 a year to $14,000 a year.
Great day.
Okay, so they just don't want to insure us.
I forget, the warden said the Elfster, there is a cap on presents no more than $30 that we're supposed to spend on one another. So it's not like a case of like, I don't want to sign up for Elfster because like I don't have an extra $1,500 to contribute. It's not, it's a much lower cap, $30. $30 is like, so don't like, so I tried to put a pony on my Elfster and it was like, no, $30, unless you can find a $30 pony. Which I don't know what kind of shape a $30 pony would be in. Probably just a tube of Elmer's glue.
Somebody said they don't have like door-to-door salesmen. They live in the city. The other solution is go live in the boondocks.
Yeah.
Nobody will ever come bother us.
Yeah.
They won't be able to find us.
Ooh, Shelly says, I've been eating 90% fat for 3 weeks now and loving it. Upping your fat, like that is, wow, that is where it's at. That is awesome.
Juju said I need to thaw some bacon, but 225 is too high to add to my smoker tomorrow. Renee said, am I the only weirdo that used to love the plain canned cranberry sauce?
Right here.
Mom used it to slice it and presented it Julia Child Fast. That was my favorite thing.
That
was the inspiration for me making cranberry sauce.
That was absolutely his favorite thing.
Every year, I want an entire can, just mine.
And he would just like, he would turn over the can and it was like, that's where they show you where to slice it, is like the can shape. We're showing you where to cut it.
I would bring 2 cans to Rachel's mom every year, one for everybody else and one for me.
Yes.
Like, seriously.
You didn't like the ones with the berries in it.
No, I did not.
You like the ones that were just like straight up Jell-O
gelatinous, garbage. Let's see. Chell said, I jumped to the carnivore diet with both feet and I had the keto food for 6 weeks. Totally worth it, though.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard a lot of people, even doing triple B and E, that was a process. If you're, because you're thinking to yourself, I know Jackie mentioned that too, that it was like, you're thinking to yourself, I'm super low carb, I'm keto, I'm very low carb, until you go lower on your carbs. And then you're like, oh, okay, I'm not feeling so great. The other thing that is a biggie that people don't anticipate is their caffeine addiction. Like that is a thing. You go triple B and E, maybe you're going carnivore and you're trying to like get rid of, sweeteners, and you're trying to get rid of things like coffee or diet soda or tea, or there's a lot of stuff. We've got energy drinks, all kinds of things that have caffeine in it, and we don't realize it. We think, oh, I don't have that much caffeine. Wait until you legitimately go without it. And then it's like, it's headache central. I would say people are usually going through major withdrawals. We've seen to about day 12 to day 14. And that is just feeling like sweaty garbage. as they withdraw from the caffeine and get like resettled in. So I would say, because yes, we will be doing like another triple B and E probably.
Not for a little while, though.
But I'm just saying, when we do, if you're wanting to do that, like in January, my advice would be start reining down the caffeine now, because otherwise you got to start it, whatever you're doing, and it's really hard. You've got that added layer of caffeine addiction.
Brenda said, I was in a health plan through my insurance at work. When I started counting calories, it was a job to make 1,200 calories a day. Nobody should be eating 1,200 calories a day.
And
Nobody. Nobody.
Nobody.
That is even something I remember, like when we were working with Robert a few years ago, and Rachel was eating like 1,500 or 1,600. He's like, I don't let my clients go that low except for maybe like the day before a competition.
But at the time, I was like that, where it was just like, you have to think, I was coming from 500 calories a day.
Yeah.
If you tell me that 1,500 calories is not enough, you're already saying to somebody that's like 3 times more than I used to do for years. 3 times more. That is scary. It is very scary to say, I need you to triple your calories. That is like frightening to start with. Really, really hard. Seems absolutely not doable. And I'm thankful that like after, more than 5 years now, like I would say roughly, I probably have 2,300, 2,500, sometimes 3,000 calories a day, I would say now.
Yep. Rick.
Hey, Rick.
Was wondering how to keep up the PhD when I've had weight loss surgery done 4 years ago. Started keto on August 1st, lost some weight, but I've gained a few more. Not sure what's wrong. Very low carbs. It could be a lot of different things. We have a lot of people in our community.
We just interviewed Deb Connor. She was on the most recent podcast. She was awesome. And she's had weight loss surgery and could probably be a help. Tanya also
is another person.
Is a really great resource.
A lot of the time, the problem, again, is under eating. So you're going to really have to figure out some ways to... Because, again, you have a modified stomach, so it's going to be a little bit more challenging, but it is absolutely possible to increase the amount that you're eating. You don't necessarily, yes, you end up stretching your stomach a little bit, but you also don't want to do any permanent damage to yourself. But you'll probably end up having to have a lot more fat in some of your meals, and probably trying to have more of an eating window over 1 or 2 meals. And that's, we talk about, you hear people talk about, I'm OMADing, I'm 2-madding. It's not really a great thing when you've had a weight loss surgery, because you can only eat so much food in that sitting. And so you're better off saying like, well, I'm doing a 16-8. And that means that during that 8 hours, or if you're doing an 18-6, during those 6 hours, or a 24-4, during those 4 hours, you're eating the entire time.
Right.
Like, you're not sitting down and going, I'm eating 1 meal. But you're going to try to eat a lot of your food in that time. So you're better off with a little bit wider eating window. But if you have to eat 5 times in that 6-hour eating window, that's okay, because you're not eating for the other 18 hours.
Nancy said that she made your chicken skins today. Fantastic. And hubby was very pleased. It surprised him.
We actually got a text message from Robin from KetoCon.
Really?
And she sent me a text message right before we came on that she made them and was like in love with them.
Oh, how nice.
Really
That's exciting.
Okay, I'm just checking if there's any other questions.
Exposing Darkness is talking about coffee. I could do triple B and E, but I don't want to move my coffee. Then I would say do triple B and E and keep your coffee, because the benefits of trying everything, all the other stuff, like eliminating all the other stuff that triple B and E eliminates, is really good. And if you're like, hey, the only thing is my coffee, I am not coming for your coffee. You could like try it with just keep your coffee and try triple B and E that way. Because again, there's a lot of benefits.
Rock said, I need to reset. Totally fell off the keto wagon and my body is telling me by the inflammation in my body, getting it together.
You got
Just start
this.
over. That's it. You don't look back. Don't worry about what you've done. just, you know what? Today's a new day.
Sure is.
And you just get right back on it. Becca said, Denise, Joe don't forget that being in ketosis tends to kill your appetite. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is the way it was worded. It's not that you're just satiated more. Like, you talk about, like, carbs, like we were talking about this driving home from the Keys. It's like, one of the biggest problems with carbs is they don't satiate you.
They don't. Like, you can eat...
That's why we can eat an entire
bag of Doritos and then
or
be
Oreos,
hungry later.
Right? What was always the big joke about Chinese food? You're going to eat and then be hungry in a half hour. Because carbs don't satiate you. Like, you just don't have a shutoff valve when it comes to carbs.
And
you do with fat and protein.
Well, and the protein, I find, satiates me in the meal, but it's not enough to get me from one meal to the other, like, where I'm happy. I have to have the fat in order for me to feel satiated. Otherwise, my mind is on, like, what am I going to eat? Like, it's like, I know when I'm not eating enough fat because my mind is still on the food all the time. When it's like, I have a whole day. Why am I thinking about what I'm eating, right?
Chris said, cooked meat does not take up smoke very well. It's usually better to smoke it first, then sous vide it. That said, I've done it the other way, smoke last, and it was still an amazing brisket.
Still amazing.
So, yeah, it's actually, the colder the meat, the better it's going to take up that smoke. Renee likes to reverse sear for my big hunk of meat steaks.
Hunka burning love.
That's
That's
Shelley,
on Monday.
So,
Oh, somebody else is doing the dance every day. I love it.
Okay. Synergy said, electric cars are only okay if very few people own them. Our systems can't handle everyone using them.
Oh, we almost bought one.
We almost did, except for the problem for us with an electric car is that we want to drive back and forth to Universal Studios in the same day, and it would only give us enough power to get one way, and then we would have to figure out where we can charge it. So, at some point, maybe if we did a lot of just local, like, piddle around here, I would probably consider having one, especially considering my truck gets 10 miles to a gallon.
And worse when we're pulling the trailer.
Yeah, we got 7.9 miles to a gallon going to the Keys.
Well, whether we needed it or not.
Yeah.
7 miles.
Okay, we are going to get off. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Anything coming up that we need to?
The weekend. It's here.
Okay.
Everybody get their grocery shopping done.
Are we doing a Black Friday video?
I would like to.
Should we do a Black Friday video for sales that we know?
Yeah, I would like to.
I will tell you this.
Between your brisket and your apple pie.
I will tell you this. The Perfect Keto Black Friday sale is really cool, and it starts Monday.
Yes.
So hang out. We'll have a video for it. We'll let you know what it is. We can't tell you yet. We're not allowed to. But it does start Monday.
Yeah.
And I think Keto Chow starts Monday. They've already announced they have a mystery flavor coming.
What could it be?
They have the recipe box, and they're doing 10% off. But our coupon code gets you 10% off. So
maybe the new Keto Chow flavor is going to be frog legs.
Maybe it's peanut butter and jelly.
It's
That'd
not.
Be really cool.
It can't be.
Why?
Because.
Why?
Miriam would have called me to console me. I know. My friend would have been like, Rachel, just want to let you down gently. It's going to be a peanut butter and jelly. And I'll be like, there'll be no living with him from now on.
Nice.
She won't do that to me.
Have a good night, everyone.
Love you.
Bye.